Hello. Okay, so I want to talk about weird things I did as a young child. Okay? So, starting off the bat, when I was a little child, and I mean like 3 or 4 years old, I would eat salt and butter straight up, right? We have this, my grandparents still have this salt shaker, but I would sit in their chair. No, this went until I was like 6. I don't remember the butter thing, so I think that's not pretty young, but when I was with the butter, I would like stick my fingers in it and eat it and lick it off my fingers. Same thing with the salt, basically, and powdered sugar. I would literally powdered sugar. That was pretty fun. Nothing came of it. Same with the salt. Probably should made me part of the reason I'm really dehydrated. My sodium levels have never been low though. But like when I was like for a hot minute into COVID, there was a salt shaker, and I would eat out of the salt shaker. I would just eat pounds of salt. It was very bad for my health. I did stop eventually. Was it because it was bad for my health? No. I did it because I moved on. I grew up from that. Another weird thing I did was I was always very I loved getting gifts, right? I loved getting gifts. I loved wearing pretty dresses. I was also a very money conscious child. It was weird. I remember panicking about having money for groceries. I think it was because of how casually my parents brought it up when I was younger, but we don't need to get into that, Yeah, I also cried during the national anthem when I was 6 years old because my dad was in the Marines and he told me he pointed to a picture and showed me which one of his friends in that image were dead. I was 7 years old. I was in kindergarten I was in kindergarten, first grade range. I cried during the national anthem when we had to listen to it for school until 4th grade. It was bad. When I wouldn't sing along, which we were encouraged to do, I would just sit there and bawl my eyes out. It was an interesting time, Interesting time. Another thing I would do is I was always I was a Gates child through and through, but what? Okay. So I don't know if this has anything to do with it. I think it was just me being I'm not gonna get this answer wrong. I got it right technically. I could read the time. So in 3rd grade. No, in 2nd grade. Dreaded year, by the way. Hated 2nd grade and 3rd grade. Neither years were good for me. 2nd grade was the only time I've been an F student. Or anything below an A. But we were learning time. And we were doing time, right? In our math books, it would be what time is this? And I would show a clock. I always forgot which hand was the hour and the minute. However, I knew that the one was the hour. Was every 5 was every 1. I don't. Ooh. Actually, hold on, wait. I need to walk in. I don't remember anything about time, but I would write time if it was a clock that showed, let's say, 2:30 p.m. I would write 3:20 and 2:30 right next to each other in the workbook, because I'm either way, I got it right. I mean, I know what it says. I just don't remember which one. And then one time, we had to, get them manually checked and not, check it ourselves. So she went, my teacher went, which one? I went, what? It's either, she went, no, which one's the correct answer? I guessed, and I got right, but that, shook me in my boots. I'm I think it made me mad. I'm it says or. Why are you questioning me? I obviously know how to read time. I'm just forgetting the hands. Sorry, my brother is under the desk and incessantly tapping and I cannot answer him right now. But yeah. Me just being stubborn child, being like, oh, constantly being in advanced classes, and being obviously like low-key kind of made fun of, but not realizing it. And I also basically got called a lesbian without being called a lesbian in like the 4th grade, because I have really bad like noise sensitivity. I was a very weird child. Okay. Don't know why I did this, but I did. I'm not gonna get into what I did, but this girl was like, oh my god, I think I like accidentally lifted my shirt, and I like looked over, because I'm like, huh? Because my excuse was that they were being loud, which was one part of it. They were talking very loudly, so I looked over to them, and this girl went, why are you looking over? I went, what? Because I heard you guys talking. She said she lifted her shirt up. Why are you looking at her? Yeah, I did like girls, not her though. She is and always was hideous, like ugly woman who is very popular. And if I wasn't disabled, would call me slurs. But yeah, just a couple odd things I did as a child. Which, yeah, I actually, now that I think back on it, let me go back to the food thing, like eating butter and salt. I had really bad like food allergies as a child. Like severe food allergies, so I think I was just trying to get nutrients however I could. Yeah, I didn't have those by the time I was like 6 years old, but I think it was just like I had it at that point. I also like salt. I like the taste of salt and butter, so who really knows? Bye, y'all.